Good morning, mademoiselles and messieurs, Mystery Man 64 at your service, and welcome back to Pokemon Fire Red version. Off screen, I at least gotten our Weedle to evolve into a Kakuna. Not much progress. I definitely might need to do some more leveling off the screen, but that is besides the point. You, I guess. Might as well get a little bit more XP before we go on to the next route. Quick attack! Because it is just better tackle in every way, shape, and formality. Alright. Alright. Handy dandy little piece of paper here. So, soon we'll be going to a new area, and therefore new encounters that we will soon go over. Yay, more information. It's always exciting. Always exciting. Ugh. There are definitely more rules that I'll be playing with as I go through the Pokemon series. Like, I'll always be using the starter if I've already said that. I'll try to nickname Pokemon, which I might have said that. I'm just trying to reinstate this. But there are other things that we'll get into when we get into them later. But we will see. We will absolutely see. Glad I caught up to you. I'm Professor Oak's aide. I've been asked to deliver this, so here you go. Oh, thank you. We have the shoes that can make us run. Woohoo! Dear Mystery, here's a pair of running shoes for my beloved challenger. I'll always cheer for you. Don't ever give up. From Mom. So now, we can run! Woo! Fastest movement in the game aside from one other thing unlocked. Although this is the standard movement that we'll be using. Excuse me, you looked at me, didn't you? I mean, I'm facing the completely opposite direction, but sure, kid. Last Janus would like to battle. Of course you have Pidgey. Of course you do. Why wouldn't you have a Pokemon that is strongest against me? I just hope it learns a move, because that will be a very good move if it does learn it. Because I could be confused with later iterations of this Pokemon. What am I talking about? I've already gone over Beedrill. I hope Beedrill learns the thing that I want it to learn. But it could be a later game. Later game, a later generation. Which is always spectacular. Oh boy. Unironically, those are some of the most broken moves in the game, the ones that lower your accuracy. Because if you're not able to hit something, well, that's a moment when you're not able to deal any damage. And if you don't deal damage, well, then the other guy will. Oh my lord. Aha, now I'm level 9 and should get Gust. Now you see, it all maths out. So there are a lot of trainers here. We're just gonna battle them all for lovely little experience. I guess while I'm doing this, I can go over some of the other rules that I intend to play by. In terms of later games that I'll eventually be going to, this is going to have to be a note for future me. Whatever Pokemon I decided to use for a team, or rather nickname, I want to not use them there on out. If I've used something once during a playthrough, I want to try to avoid using it again. I want to try to do variety. Also, not necessarily a rule, but I want to try to use Pokemon more specific to that generation, rather than just Pokemon from, you know, previous generations. If that makes sense. It's not necessarily a rule I have to abide by, but one that I'm just like, I would like to try to use Pokemon from that generation when they were introduced. With maybe, and a strong maybe, of some outliers. Because some Pokemon have evolutions that don't exist yet. And then they get evolutions. If that sounds confusing, you would be correct. You would absolutely be correct in that assessment. Pokemon is a great series. And I love that nobody has gotten frustrated with it ever. Now, it's just a flawless masterpiece that definitely hasn't had constant problems throughout the whole thing with taking away certain features that have been fan favorites, or adding new things, or adding absolutely insane evolutions. Well, more so the methods with certain Pokemon. It's... some of these things are a mess, dude. Number 1, top grossing media of all time, by the way. Most popular in the entire world. That is not a joke. It is number 1 on the top grossing media of all time. And I want to say it by a hefty margin. Can you inflict poison once? Because that would be lovely. No? Well, it's a good thing I have Bird that now can do bird things. Because now my bird can actually bird. Yeah, super effective. I know these things because I've played the game so much and I've kind of just memorized the weakness order. As for what's strong defensively, I'm probably not as well versed there. But I still know what is more or less resistant / immune to what. Which is another thing, not only is there a series of something is strong against something, something also takes less damage against something else. Again, I could have 100% done a bit about, here's the type chart and how it works with everything. And that can be an entire 2 to 3 episodes on its own. Type chart is dumb. You just have to be someone like myself that just kind of has it inherently memorized. Because otherwise, if you're new, you're just like, oh my good lord, what is all of this? Because it's too much. I don't expect... how I have this memorized is beyond me. Oh boy. I should be fine, although 1 or 2 more battles, I'll probably want to go back and heal. Well, this is a new route, and there are also encounters on that route that I guess since I literally have nothing better to do, that I might as well go over. So let's go over some of our lovely little encounters for this route. If you will, future me, take it away. First up, we have Nidoran, the female variant, a pure poison type Pokemon. It's the more defensive version of the 2 variants that we'll be getting into. It's an alright choice, but Fire Red has a lower encounter rate, I wanted to say. But still a pretty decent pick, and later evolves into a poison ground type. Next, we have Nidoran Male, the much more offensively inclined one, also pure poison type. It evolves into Nidoking, which, for speedrunners who know, is one of the strongest Pokemon in the entire game that can solo the entire game. It's a thing that it can do, apparently. Next up is Jigglypuff. It has high HP. It's pure normal type, and yeah, those stats aren't doing it any favors here. It's outside of Smash, this thing is pretty useless, I'm gonna say. And its evolution, Wigglytuff, which can only be obtained by evolving in Jigglypuff, is a little bit better, but not drastically. Its high stat still being HP, making it a dedicated HP sponge, and not much else. So there are better picks than this one. It exists. And that would do it for the encounters of this route. There's a little bit of extra time, but not much, so we'll come back to the present. Okay, I hope I've given myself enough time. If not, it will still be future me, so you know, that's fantastic. I'm gonna go back and heal, and then we'll be right back to continue a little bit more. Okay, and we're back. Running helps, cause now I can get places faster. Woo! Doing things more efficiently is always useful. My, there are a lot of dudes on this route. Well, at least I get lots of experience. Okay, I was about to say, I swear to me, Jacobs, if you poison me again, I'm going to end your existence. Yep. There's a whole lot not going on there, boys. But then again, when you're doing Pokemon, especially the earlier games, whew, it's gonna be a while until we can get out of an era where the gameplay is just this. Like, there's some story stuff, sure, but that takes a while to pick up for some games. This one especially. This one has an incredibly slow start. Definitely would love a speed up button for a lot of this. I don't know. If I have to sit through this, you have to sit through this too. I have a feeling this series is going to be long, not because it's hard, but because it is slow. This is going to be a very slow series. Whenever I don't have, like, here are encounters and bios and stuff, because I always will have stuff. I also, what am I talking about? I have my piece of paper right here. I know what encounters I get. And none of them are particularly ones that I want. Woo! Level 10! Let's go. Let's fight you, because then I have to circle all the way back around. I'm just kind of mashing A. It was probably a poor decision to do this, but if I poison him, then it would have been worth it. I don't think I can take another hit from you. And I would very much like to level that dude up, so... Go, Monsoon! I should be calling them by their nicknames. I've nicknamed them for reasons. That's fine. I'm not using my attack stat. I'm using my special stat. And I know there's a thing with the stat blocks that says what their special stat was in very fine print. I probably won't have that. I plan on making a second one. I probably talked about that. I just forget easily. I forget things. I have a very short attention span, so doing a series like this that requires a lot of work and editing is a great idea. Definitely. I haven't even gotten to the grass. At least let me get to the grass. Oh Lord. And this special. Caterp. That is Caterpie. Yeah. And now for this fight to take way longer because I'm trying to get experience on one Pokemon when it would just be infinitely faster to switch to, you know what, I'm going to do exactly what I am about to say and just switch to Cedric. And bird him up. You're going to get birded, sir. Oh yeah, that's a fun thing. Here's a did you know? That there was going to be a bird and beast type. Oh yeah, bird and beast. Those were going to be types of their own. I believe Mew was originally going to be bird type and Arcanine, which we'll get into later, was going to be beast type, I want to say. If I'm wrong, flash something up on screen. Was I wrong? I don't know. Future me will have to establish that factoid. Yeah. This is why Harden sucks, even though I have Bird. Flying is physical. And Harden raises physical, so guess what that means? It's gonna keep doing less and less damage. Which is super cool. Alright. Well, I think that's where I'll leave it now for this episode. So, next time on Pokemon Fire Red, I almost said, well, it kind of Fire Red and Leaf Green. The layout is exactly the same, just certain things are different, which we'll get into eventually, hopefully. Forward is Poke Center, so I will want to try to go forward. As always, I will see all of you in the next one. Until then.